we are back. I'm excited. We're back for our wreath kit assembly here. We did the cutting instructions in a separate video. If you are here because you purchased the actual kit, I highly suggest going to watch that video first. This is going to be the assembly. It'll be an overview, but that cutting instruction is very important when you purchase the actual kit. It's the video just before this. So we are working on our 10-inch frame here. This design is called the Pancake Petite. The link to the frames can be found in the description, along with our directory, which is learnfrommelissa.com. It'll have anything I talk about today. You'll be able to find that there, including the link where you can buy wreath kits if you're interested. So this is our 10-inch patent pending pancake wreath frame. I'm a co-patent pending person on the patent. So it's special to me, and I love, love, love this new recipe. It's so great. The first thing we're going to do is start off with adding in our pipe cleaners. The pipe cleaners are going to go in every single notch and hole combination here. The notch on the outside of the frame, you're going to put the pipe cleaner close to or right kind of on top of the hole there. And the notch on the inside of the frame, you're going to twist that notch or twist your pipe cleaner kind of like right close to the notch. This is going to help with a little separation here. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to do that all the way around. Notice right this second, there are a couple of extra holes here, but there isn't a notch attached to it. So I'm not touching those at all. I'm just looking for the ones that have the notch. They are perfectly spaced. They are, there's 12 there, which goes specifically toward my, my pancake wreath recipe and budget. So I'm really, really proud of this frame. I absolutely love it. And I will be using the 10-inch frames for a lot. The pancake frame comes in a bundle, which is the 14-inch frame, the 10-inch frame, which is this one, and a sign extender. If you guys have the sign extenders piling up, I also have videos on what to do with those that I also have been doing new, and I think is super cute. So that is all the pipe cleaners. I know it looks kind of messy here. Twisting the inside close to the notch, twisting the outside right on top of that hole, okay? One in each spot, and then you have the extras where there is not a notch. No notch there. Let me get this over here. Now, I'm going to set aside my sign for just a minute. Again, I've already cut everything, so see those cutting instructions. Extremely important if you have purchased the kit. This is what we had left over extra. I'm going to set that off to the side also. Okay, so we have a 20-inch cut going to go in first. A 20-inch cut going to go in first. The rough edges, I don't want to see those. So we're going to try our best to hide them and get them out of the way. So I'm going to just curl that in a little bit. So curl. I'm really just folding it, maybe the width of my thumb. Curl, curl, maybe one more. Okay, little tiny, not a lot. I'm going to go not up the center, which is where the orange is. I'm going to go right down here, like right between the pink, purple and the green. So I'm leaving like a quarter of this left over here. And I'm going to take and fold in, fold, 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 scrunch. Okay, fold, 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 scrunch. Okay, now, instead of it going in like this, I'm going to turn it over. Because see, look, you see how that kind of looks like a shelf, which turns into a hole kind of in my design. I'm going to put it this way on the outside twist tie. The outside twist tie. And that first one I put in is going to determine the width of my end result, okay? Then, well, those are going to stick together. That's going to be fun. Then I'm going to take the 10-inch piece. So 20-inch, taking the 10-inch. I'm going to curl it in so that the cut edge, number one, goes on the inside, and the cut edge ends up in the back, so on the bottom. Okay, so then I'm just going to just see here where I need to put it, and kind of scrunch it up right there, because I'm going to put the curl in next. Curl goes in next. I want this piece and this piece to be level. I don't want it to look like this. I don't want it to look like this. I want it to be level. We want to make a perfectly circle wreath, okay? So we're going to put that piece in next. Now, the official Pancake Petite official video showed you all the different size. These are sticking. Let me just pull these apart. Sorry. All the different size signs, how that looks on this design. So you have that to go reference back to. That is a fall design. It's here also on YouTube. And it says the part that you see says official Pancake Petite. That has a lot of information. So we're just going to go, again, just curl in. This is the 20-inch piece. Curl in, scrunch, scrunch right off to that side. Curl in, curl in, curl in. The whole point is I want that cut edge to end up on the inside, not, you know, blaring out and showing everybody, hey, maybe it's fraying or whatever. Again, trying to make sure that I get it in so that the edges touch each other. Perfect. Y'all, our upcoming class is called Wreath Makers Fast Track. I highly recommend it if you're new or if you're somewhere in the messy middle and you're looking for anything. You're looking for help. You're looking for inspiration. You're looking for direction. You're looking for recipes. All sorts of things. The class is going to be probably my best yet. I'm excited and proud of it. The replays will be available if you can't watch the live. And the description of the video, the class will walk you all the way through what's going to be happening. Okay, so if you're brand spanking new or somewhere in the messy middle, I believe this will be extremely informational and helpful. Put you in the right direction, answer a lot of questions, and get y'all moving in the right direction right before, just in time to prepare for fourth quarter. Okay. All right. I'm keep going from the 20-inch to the 10-inch, making sure they are coming out to touch each other. None are, I mean, they're not going to be exactly perfect, but, oh, also, I just noticed this. See how this edge is green here and that edge is black? We want to make sure that we continue to do the same side. But now I just kind of crunched that, so it's going to fray a little bit more, but it's going to be fine. I'm going to pay attention to that the next time so I don't do that again, though. Because I don't want those to, I mean, not that anyone's going to notice but me, but I don't want that little edge. Sorry, I'm showing you. That little edge was black, and this little edge is green, so on the opposite side of it. So you want to make sure that that's going in, you know, good. Curl, curl. This little curl here also, in my opinion, is helping this smaller design be a little more sturdy. So if you've been around a while, you are familiar with or have seen me make what I call the Pancake 2.0, quote unquote. It was a ruffle very similar to this, but without the curls. And quite honestly, I loved it at first. It just wasn't sturdy enough. The ribbons were too long, etc., etc. You know, it goes on. So, oops, I'm going to do it this way. So this is very similar to that design, but I really, really think that the different way we're putting in the mesh is so much better. The size of it is about the same. The width of the wreath, and by that I mean the width of the wreath is about the same, but it's way more sturdy. Ooh, I'm lucky too. Look, this has this obviously the same thing, and so far I've put everything in with the green on the top. I wasn't even paying attention to that one. This is a really good mesh, one of my favorites. The upcoming fast track class is also going to talk about like the names of different mesh and what in the world they mean, so that when you're watching, you know, folks selling and they say, oh, this is a jute, this is a check, this is a blah, blah, blah. You're like, oh yeah, okay, I know what that means. So that'll have a terminology, or Wreath Makers fast track class. We'll have a terminology video, which will be nice also. Okay. All right, black on the top. Making sure, on purpose, making sure that that seam goes anywhere but on the top. I just don't want it on the top. So if it ends up on the side, I'm okay with that. But I definitely just want it not on the top. There's a video that has like not all, because you don't need to know all, truly, but my favorite different mesh methods, like the different ways to like curl or scrunch or whatever you want to call it. Again, with the terminology, just so that you know what would be used for what's good for what. I think that's helpful. Okay, last piece going in. So this Pancake Petite, a little different than the regular pancake. I'm putting in not all of my mesh, but the first layer of the mesh that goes on the outside and the inside, and putting those all in first. Now, okay, now I'm going back to my cute little ribbons. My ribbons are going on top of the 20-inch piece. On purpose, this is important, the 20-inch piece, because if I put them on the 10-inch curl, they're going to be in even further. So I'm going to have even more of that mesh sticking out. I want to see the mesh, and I promise, you're going to see a good amount, but I don't want to see all of it. So I'm going to put them on top of that 20-inch piece. Okay, that's where the mesh is going, top of the 20-inch piece. I'm going to try to make sure that as I put them in, I'm putting them in so that the bottom ribbon is all going the same way. So the bottom ribbon that is boots down, this is for me, you can do however you want, boots down is going to end up on the right, and then the one that has the boots up is going to end up on the left. So I'm going to try real hard to pay attention to that. It's a small detail, but it is a detail that I pay attention to. So you can do with that however you want. Scrunch it goes on top of the 20-inch piece. So exactly the way I would put it in for a pancake wreath. And I'm not putting anything else on top of this particular design. So I'm going to forget now. It's going to go this way. Yeah. Okay, top of the 20-inch piece. And then we're not going to leave them like this. We are going to spread them out, but we're going to do that all at once. I'm going to forget this every single time, aren't I? Yep. I'm just going to say boots down, boots down, boots down, boots down. Now, when you're making, I mean, for me when I'm making videos, but for everyone in general, or if I'm making wreaths without a video, I want the fastest way, right? I want the fastest way. I want the shortcuts. I want the, you know, way that's going to let me make a beautiful design in the least amount of time. So I'm going to put this in. I'm not going to play with the ribbons after I have them set. I'm going to pick up my wire cutters just several times instead of after every single solitary, you know, see, after every time I cut those off, I could be picking up my wire cutters every single time to cut the excess off. Instead, I'm going to put them all in and pick up my wire cutters once and cut them all off at once. Listen, I promise when I say it doesn't have to be exactly perfect the moment you put this in. Save yourself some time, especially if you're a wreath maker and you are selling these. Save yourself some time. Pick up your wire cutter once. Now make sure you're cutting off the right ones. Go right where you're putting those ribbons and cut off the excess. Okay? That way I'm not putting it in, twisting it, picking up my wire cutter, cutting, putting it down, throwing this away. No, we're not doing that. Okay? Now, it looks funny, look. It kind of does look funny. Now, we're going to go back in and we're going to push this down so that it's not poking straight up. I'm going to lift these up and down and side to side so that I can see both of those ribbons. Up and down, side to side. Now, I'm going to put them like this, and then I'm not going to touch them. We're going to keep it like that. We're not going to touch it. Okay? Is it going to get messed up as I put things in? Yes, it is. Wait till the end. Okay? As long as you are pulling these apart up and down and pulling them apart side to side so that they have disconnected from each other, when you go to put them exactly where you want them to be in the end, they'll stay. But if you, further than this, if you keep playing with them, you're wasting time. Okay? Now, that's not an example of, but that is like the purpose of my Wreath Makers Fast Track class, right? You can waste your time and spend the next year figuring out all these little things and all the recipes, all the whatever, or you can have everything bundled in one class for you where it's all together. You don't have to worry about it. You're coming to someone that you know, like, and trust. You've watched me. You've learned from me. You've watched me be successful. You've watched my business grow. You know I live it, right? Live and breathe it. You know it can be done. So that's what the Wreath Makers Fast Track is all about. Okay, now I have 6 more pieces, 6 more pipe cleaners sticking up. Now here's the deal. I can still see the frame. No one loves the frame more than I do. I can still see the frame. Hold on, let me pick up those pieces off the ground. Nobody loves the frame more than I do, but your customer isn't going to want to see that frame, okay? So we have one more step with the mesh. And then we'll get to the sign and the bow, okay? Here we are. We have another 10-inch piece. So it's 10 inches by 10 inches. I'm going to take the cut edge to the cut edge and just fold that in. Okay. And then I'm just going to scrunch up that edge. Best I can. So it actually turns into like a little bubble, right? A little bubble here. And I'm going to actually cut off that excess here because it's all stringy and yucky. and then take it and put it right on top of that pipe cleaner that's sticking out waiting for me. Now, you can, if you want to feel a little bit more comfortable, you can add a zip tie to the end of that if you want to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. Or you can do just like I did, nice and tight, put it in there so that it doesn't come out. Okay, so what it's doing is a couple things. Number one, it's kind of like securing everything in, right? It's helping hold all those things in. It's helping hold your mesh in. It's in place. It's helping hold your ribbons down, not from flopping forward. It is covering that one little piece of frame that we were seeing a little bit there. And it's just finishing off the center. I love it so much. It's a cute little bundle. I'm going to try to actually cut these over here so I can get it mostly in the garbage with my perfectly clean basement after the weekend. Okay, right down on top, nice and tight. Make sure that little teeny tiny little spot. Now you can keep it long. You don't have to cut it. You can keep it long if you want. That's up to you. But again, I'm not going to cut every one of those off every time. I'm just going to wait until the end. Scrunch, 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 right on that edge. Scrunch, 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 scrunch as best as you can. So here, I'll show you. I won't cut this one. I'll show you what it looks like, just so you can see. Now, it's going to be under the bow. It's going to be under the sign. You do not have to cut it, but the only thing is, with that part where it like sticks out and then it's like fraying, you'll see it from underneath, from the back part, from the back side of the... Now, I know obviously the back isn't the important part, clearly, I know that, but, you know, if your customer has, like, I have a door where there's a window in the center. Yeah, there's a window in the center. So I'll be able to see through, right? And so I don't want to see, like, you know, the fraying part. And I don't want my customer to think, like, something's wrong with their wreath because they see that, right? Oh, it's falling apart. It's not falling apart. Okay. Oops, let me just cut that off. Making sure I don't cut my finger. But it's going to help. This little bubble is going to help. I love it. It's absolutely the perfect little addition. Now, if you didn't buy this as a kit and you're just making a Pancake Petite wreath, I'm going to point out something very important as far as your design goes. Notice this is not a solid mesh. This mesh does a lot of talking all by itself. It has a lot of colors. It has a lot of design. It's does a lot all by itself. If you're using a solid mesh where there isn't a lot of things going on, it's not going to look exactly like this. Your design might look exactly like this, but the overall visual may feel different because of the work the actual piece of mesh that I chose does. Okay. So because it's a kit and I don't want it to be as triple as expensive and offer 3 rolls of mesh, right? We don't want to do that. And so because it's only 1 roll of mesh, I do want to make sure that in our kits, for sure, the mesh is a added element to your design versus something that's going to make it like look unfinished. And that's really important. Sorry. Okay. Right down in there nice and as absolutely tight as you can scrunch it. As tight as you can scrunch it. Pick up my wire cutter one time, cut all these babies off. One time. And then just hide them. That's all. Just push them down, hide them. Push them down, hide them. So now I'm going to zoom you out. So now I have this beautiful, oh, that's, it's so cute. Now look, you see how the wires, the ribbons split here? I'm not going to fix it until the end. I'm not going to fix it. I'm not going to go through and fix everything to the end. I got to put my sign on. I'm going to flipping it up and down. I got to put my bow on. I'm going to be flipping it up and down. I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm going to take my, skew tag off here. I hope. Usually they just come right off. Maybe this will, maybe it won't. Oh, I guess it won't. Well, that stinks. Usually they come right off. Not that it matters. This is going to be the back of my sign, or back of my thing, and it'll be covered, so that's all right. All right. Okay. Cute without a bow. This hides, you know, the imperfections that we had underneath there that weren't looking great. This is a 6x12. That is fine. We are definitely going to add a sign, so I'm going to move, or a bow, so I'm going to move this up just a little bit. You'll still see that little tiny bit of mesh over here. This will support our bow underneath. That's all. That's all. That's it. So you should have 2 of these. I don't know what the other one happened to. Excuse me. 2 little mounting squares for your sign. Personally, I'm going to recommend, if you have a staple gun, I want you to use that. But I can't assume everyone does. So I include in our kits the mounting squares. So what I want you to do, here are my recommendations. You can peel this off, stick it on the back, and use it that way. What I want you to do is peel it off, maybe add a little bit of super glue, stick it on, then take your glue gun and like kind of caulk it on there. Go on the wood and on the thingy, just so that it helps extra. Okay, I don't want these things to fall off for you. Then you're gonna take your pipe cleaner. Once it's stuck on there, take your pipe cleaner and you're gonna slide it through, twist it, and that's what you'll be using to add the wreath to the frame. Okay, now this is 12 inches, your frame is 10 inches. So should you put it on the edge here? No. Okay, no. So we're going to try to put ours in. Here's what I'm going to do. If you have a staple gun, I want you to do this. You can do whatever you want to do, but I'm trying to eliminate some troubles, okay? I don't want those things to fall off. They don't do it all the time, but I have had my fair share, so I always use staplers. This is the back of a ribbon spool. It's just going to help me thicken up my sign. My sign, not quite 1/4 of an inch. My staples, 1/4 of an inch. I don't want to put a staple through here and then end up coming in the back, right? So all I'm doing is I add 2 little pieces on both sides just to thicken up my frame, okay? So I'm going to go, here is the 10 inch, here we're going to go right here, and here we're going to go right here. Now I know that that's going to end up kind of right on top of where the frame is. Not out here. It's a 10-inch frame. Okay? All right, so I'm going to take our pipe cleaners and our staple gun. I'm going to go right to the top here like this. Nice and tight. Push down. One more for good luck. And then right over here, do the same thing. Right on top. Nice and tight. Push. Nice and tight. Push. There we go. Now, before I make that, or sorry, put that in, I'm going to make our bow first. I'm going to set that there for just a second. Then we have our bow. So this bow a little different than what I normally do for pancakes. So stay with me, okay? I considered making this a separate video, so it was just separate, but here we are. So these are all of our ribbons for our bow. Okay. And you can put them in however you wanted. I wanted the 2 polka dots because it's so fun. The sign has polka dots. The little pumpkins, not that they are polka dots, but still kind of give me that look or that vibe. So I almost put in one more polka dot if you want me to be honest. But then I didn't. So I'm going to put in the stripe first. This isn't a choice, okay? This is already predetermined for you, by the way. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? 5. The next one, I have 1, 2, 3. Stay with me. I'm going to do 2 loops on one side with the 5 and 1 loop on each side with the 3. This one has 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to have 2 loops of that one. And then these are both 3, and you'll see how we do this. Okay, it's going to be the same as this, right? So that's the order that I'm putting it in. It's stripe first, specifically because they're different lengths on purpose. Okay, on purpose. So I have my stripe first. Stripe first. Cut my thingy here. I'm going to go with an 8-inch on my tail, 6-inch on my loop, pinch, twist, 6-inch on my loop. I'm eyeballing it, but you can measure exactly. 6-inch on my loop, pinch, twist, 2. So this is my 2 loops. Pinch, twist, loop. If your loops or your tails are longer, if you have the kit, you're not going to have the same amount as I do, okay? You're not going to have the same amount as I do. Put it down in there. I do have a little bit extra because I wasn't sure if y'all would be exact, but 8 inches on the tail, 6 inches on that loop. And then I'll be able to cut. Okay. So far, so good. Then I'm going to take in the next one that was 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Cut. I'm going to go a little bit shorter, tiny bit shorter on my tail. Tiny, like a little bit, 1/4 of an inch. Loop. This is going to be about 5.5 inches. Pinch, pull it apart, twist, loop, pinch. Again, it's just a little bit longer on that one side. You could make your tails a little bit longer, but I made them short on purpose just in case y'all were not following exactly exact, okay? That's why they're like that. Then, so I have 2 loops, 1 loop. Now I'm going to go with the orange. You can do whatever you want, okay? This is the way it's designed. Totally up to you. Okay. Tail. My loop now a little bit smaller than this one, so maybe about 5 inches. Pinch. Twist. Loop. Like you could put this one in the back if you wanted to, that bright orange. Totally up to you. But this is the way it is designed. Pinch, twist, loop. We have 2 loops again on each side and 1 tail on each side. Because this one, all this ribbon and this ribbon were the same amount of ribbon, but because everything gets smaller, you can see I have a little bit more available here as my excess. Okay. And then I'm going to put, now the next 2 are also, I have 3 of each. The next 2 are 3 of each. I'm going to put in the black next. I'm going to put in the black next. Okay. And then 1 loop. Again, I'm getting smaller. So this is about 4.5 inches. So just a little bit smaller as I get down on every single little thing. Pinch, twist, loop, pinch, twist, tail. Okay. That's it, just like that. Really easy. And then the last one, you see how much ribbon we had left here? The last one we're going to put on the top, but we're going to have a little bit of extra loop, and you see we're going to have plenty. Okay, so stay with me. Stay with me. I'm going to do just a slant here on the bottom. Just a little slant. Polka dot coming down. A little loop that's probably 2.5 inches. Pinch, twist, loop, pinch, twist, and loop, pinch, and twist. With that way, you're going to end up with both tails on the same side. It's fine. You're just going to move them when you are ready to pull it into place. Okay, you'll just move them when you put it into place. So we're going to take our pipe cleaner, lift it off our bow maker. You guys, I have carpal tunnel, so I can't keep everything in my hands. It doesn't work that way. So that's why I use the bow maker. Add my pipe cleaner to the top. Clearly you can see I can make the layers in my hand. I just can't keep them all in my hand. My hand will start screaming. Okay, nice and tight. Twist, twist, twist. It's about good. Now I'm going to hold on here in the back. I'm going to find my center loop and put it straight up to the top. Kind of wiggle it a little bit. Fix my ribbons. Fix my ribbons. Put my tails back in place, because they have shifted. Put my tails back in place. That ended up really shifting, so I'm going to just really twist it, make it tell it I'm the boss. There we go. Okay, really, really cute. And then we'll add them all together. Okay, so now, remember I said that part that was like pokey and it was like, you know, right up in here, right? We had to cut it off. Now here's where this comes in handy, right? If I put this in, I'm going to kind of have a little gap right here, which is exactly where you'd be able to see that. So what I do is because you're not going to see this, it'll be underneath the bow. What I just do is I just push that up a little bit, and then I'll put my pipe cleaners through there to keep it in place. That way I'm hiding anything that might be, you know, seeing that you don't want to see. Got it? Okay. So I'm going to put my pieces in place. Now, the reason why I didn't secure it down, because if you notice here, like this is kind of sticking out a little bit more than these two. These two look about the same. So I'm going to see if that works like that. Right? I don't want them to be looking like crazy. Perfect. And then I'm going to put the bow down here. Adorable. Super duper cute. All right. So I'm going to go in, turn to the side. I want it to go right there. So I'm just going to add it in, put my pipe cleaner through the mesh right exactly where it is. This is the part that I am not a fan of. This is the part that takes a little bit of time and figuring and getting the pipe cleaner through the mesh, all those layers. Ooh, we did it. Sometimes it's not as fun as it. It's not as fun. Okay. All right. Awesome. That went pretty good, actually. All right. Let me just twist that so it stays in place. And then I'll turn the other one around so you can actually see what I'm doing. But the positioning of those pipe cleaners is going to work against you if you try putting them on this edge, okay? So let me get this one kind of through and then I'll flip it over so you can see. Again, I'm going straight through the mesh. That definitely helps keep the sign in place, helps keep everything in place really. So I'm going through the mesh on purpose, even though it's not my favorite part, I am doing it. Okay. And then I'm just going to flip it over, making sure, before I do, making sure we are in a good spot. Perfect. Okay, so flip over. Here's what I'm doing. I'm holding it real tight still on the bottom. I'm going to hold that so I can keep pressure, keep it where I want it to be. I'm going to take this, because this is the longer piece, and come over here to this side and twist it right on the edge so that I can take this and kind of stuff it right underneath. And so the pokey part of that pipe cleaner is gone. Okay. Now, while we're back here, you can hang it right from here. Like the little hanger part can go right in there. No problems, no worries, no troubles. But you could also use a pipe cleaner. Let me find out where my top is. So I'm going to go right here is my top, right here is my center. I'm feeling, I'm looking, I'm feeling, I'm looking. It's ended up being about right here. So here's what I can do. I'm going to take this and slide it under. You don't have to do this part. I don't think a pipe cleaner, I don't think the extra pipe cleaner is included. It might be, but I can't remember. It's going to go under there. I'm going to make one big circle. Okay, one big circle. Twist, 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 twist. Then I'm going to take that pokey part and slide it up underneath there. Okay, hold on, let me just make sure one more time that this is the center. One more time that this is the center. So when I hang it, it's not going to hang, you know, funky. All right, now I want it to stay in place. So I'm going to, just like I twisted that on the edge, I'm just going to twist this on the edge, creating a loop where the pokey part is in the back, creating a loop where my customer can hang it from and they know where to hang it from. So that eliminates a problem there. And then when I add in my bow, it'll be all finished, super cute. You could add that at the very end. I usually do it and kind of, I'm adding it like in the air almost if I'm not like live or teaching. Or you can do it right before you add your bow. All right, now I'm going to go right there. I want the center of that to be in the center here. I want the center of that to be in the center. Just to help me, I'm going to just move that up a little bit. So I put my pipe cleaner through it to help keep it in place. Okay, help keep it in place. Right through. There's a lot of layers here. Just trying to help. My fingers are underneath. Trying to help things move around. Sorry. Ooh wee, it is not good. Okay, let me try a different spot. Okay. Also, this is why if it's a kit, I add in the pipe cleaners. If I'm doing these by myself, when I'm adding in the sign, there we go. When I'm adding in the sign and the bow, I'm using just plain wire. I'm not using a pipe cleaner. A pipe cleaner has two wires that are kind of wound together to make the, you know, the soft part. And so that can sometimes be a pain because the two wires split and get caught on the mesh. So that's where it sometimes has a lot of troubles. All right, just tightening that around the frame exactly the way I did for the sign, tucking it up underneath to hide it. Then, okay, here's the last part. Now everything's in. So now I can fluff my bow back the way it needs to be. Sometimes I hold on to the center to help keep that part in place. Really, really cute. I'm just going to flip that so that it's, oops, no, that was right, sorry. So that it's polka dot down, black up, black down, polka dot up. So just a little bit of difference there. And then, of course, pull it down off my sign. I don't want it on my sign. Help it along there. Help it along. Holding on to my center so that it stays where I want it to, and then moving other things around. Okay, lovely, adorable, super cute, all the things. Just move those so that I can have kind of an alternate there. Darling, really, really cute. Then, the last thing I'm going to do is move our ribbons in place. Now, if you're making this for yourself, once you have it on your door, especially if you use that door, the ribbons are going to move. So they're not always going to stay that way. But if I'm selling these, right, I want to make sure that it looks the best when I'm taking the picture. That way the customer knows what it's supposed to look like when they get it, if they have to fluff it a little bit. Right? I can send them perfect pictures of what it's supposed to look like. But then, look how stinking that is, the most perfect. That's adorable. So, so cute. For everybody who always, for the last several years, is like, you're covering up all the mesh. I can't see the mesh. Now you can see the mesh in it because I'm using a colored mesh. It does give it a design element. Right? It's not a solid. If it's a solid, it's going to feel a lot different than this. This covers up any little troubles we might have around where you could see the underneath. It hides all the mechanics. The bow size is it's cute. It's super cute. Y'all, thanks for watching. I know this was a little bit long. I'll make sure our future Pancake Petites go a little bit quicker. We'll be prepared a little bit more. But while it's still new, I like walking through things and making sure everybody knows what you're doing and why, which in my case is the thing I like to explain the most. Thank you very much for watching. Again, learnfrommelissa.com has everything we might have talked about today. You can see in the description of this video the link. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, y'all.